You're listening to a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network. Some say we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
Hitting that bass line.
Oh man, it hits hard. Welcome everyone to this special edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of your hosts. To my right is a man who could very well be the next manager of the San Francisco Giants or Colorado Rockies or Atlanta Braves and so on and so forth. Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. You know, I just got off a Zoom interview with the San Francisco Giants. My connection seemed a little spotty, though. But at the end, I said, wouldn't you like to bring in this San Francisco treat? And I just paused. I don't think they liked it, but I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
When you said San Francisco treats, all I thought of was that Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where they get the boat and they have Patrick Swayze's brother as one of the characters on the yacht. It's like, yeah, we got some special treats. And they're like, and Dennis and Mac are going, are we the special? Are we the tasty treats?
I gotta, you know, I was like
you gotta start watching that again, man. You gotta
yeah,
start
me too. I got to start watching it. I got to, because I'm a few seasons behind. I'm gonna go back and catch up.
Well, I was catching up. My sister's been rewatching Letterkenny. You gotta watch that one too, man. That's a great series. Except, I mean, the first 3 seasons they start off a little bit slow because they get you into the episode, they get you into the characters, and then seasons go great. But seasons 10, 11, and 12 they also go fast because they're only like 6 to 8 episodes per season, and the last 3 episodes, because they got so into the production of Shoresy, which is their spinoff. Yeah, it kind of got weak at the end. But I encourage you to still watch Letterkenny and watch Shoresy too. That's a great show. In addition to Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, good lineups for me.
Yeah,
good lineups for me to check out.
Yes, and for the rest of you who are watching or listening, yeah, go check those shows out. Don't have the kiddies around though. No, that's not a great show for. Lots of dark humor, especially in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And lots of quips here and there on Letterkenny. That's nice, quick Canadian humor if you're into it.
You will learn about the origins of Dr. Mantis Toboggan.
This could go viral. You can get a virus.
This has been TV Rex with Ryan, a spinoff of the No Credentials Required podcast.
Oh, man. Well, this is a special episode because we're recording on Wednesday night because Dustin's going on vacation and I've got a wedding on Saturday. No fall. So many people say, "Oh, no weddings in the fall. No fall weddings." Well, I'm gonna be taking part in one. Well, it's more of a vow renewal, but this is for the same people who I saw got married in April. So they'll be up here and I'll get to see them. I'm excited because I love hanging out with my friends, especially those who are out of town. I don't get to see very often, but this will be the 3rd time this year I'll see them. And I'm very, very happy I get to see them. So that's why we're recording on Wednesday night. So it's not a live episode. But in the meantime, we still want to encourage you to check us out on social media. Follow us on platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and that includes on platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube channel, and Podbean. hit that, and also hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when our regular shows on Tuesdays and Saturdays go live, when you got show clips that go up, like we've had the last couple of days, and when there's general show announcements that go up on either YouTube or on Twitter. On the podcast side, rate, review, comment, 5-star rating would be helpful. Leave a review on platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Podchaser. If you're listen on Spotify, leave us a comment. We'll kindly read them. And also make sure you leave a comment in the comment section on the Belly Up YouTube channel, because that's where this episode will air on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Leave a comment in the comment section. It drives it feeds into the algorithm, lets more people know about Belly Up Sports and this particular program. So let's hear those comments. And I know we're not live, Dustin, but you always have to hear this sound whenever we have comment. Whenever we want people to comment and let us know what's their surprises and disappointments and what they're looking forward to in week 5 of the NFL.
Even when we're recording, I hear it in my mind. It's always chime time.
Yeah, it is. So we're going to get things started. This is the week 5 preview of the NFL. We're already in week 5. It's October. This is when the weather starts to get, especially in the Northeast, weather starts to turn. The leaves are changing. It's a little bit cooler at night. But also it's when the NFL action starts to heat up. We're week 5 already. As we record, it's a Wednesday night, so we're not going to be able to review Thursday night's game between the Rams and the 49ers. But we're going to do something special instead, and we're going to go over our surprises and disappointments a quarter-ish way.
Yeah.
25, because even it's a 17-game schedule, 18 weeks in the NFL. Technically, we're in the quarter way mark of the season, so we want to let you know who our surprises and our disappointments are so far in 2025. So I'm going to lead off with my esteemed co-host, and he'll give you what his surprises and disappointments are so far in this 2025 season.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me lead things off. And I'm going to lead things off. I want to start on a positive note. So I'm going to lead things off with my biggest surprise. And, you've got some great ones here on, coming down the pike. But for me, you can call me a homer if you want to. But did you think it was going to be anything other than the play of Sam Darnold?
Should I get it?
Sure. It's going to be a big
homer alert.
It's going to be a big homer alert episode
this is not
for
the
your
first,
boy.
Yeah, this is not the first time you'll see that in this episode. So I had to break it out. This might be a drinking game.
Yeah, it could be. Play along.
On the next happy hour episode, we might make this no drinking game.
Yeah.
Drink for how many times the homer alert comes up. We advise you to drink responsibly.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
But it's Sam Darnold for me. It's Sam Darnold, because the thing is, and if I may go back in time, there was an episode of Seahawks Sessions, which Dan, Kevin, and I did, in which we were all shocked when they got rid of Geno Smith. When they traded Geno Smith, we said the Seahawks are going full rebuild. Now, right now, it looks crazy, but you got to go back. You got to think. They had gotten rid of Geno Smith. DK Metcalf said that he wanted out. They then traded him to the Steelers. Tyler Lockett, it was well known that he was not going to be back. And so you're thinking to yourself, okay, these are 3 of the cornerstones on offense of this team the last few years. And you're thinking the Seahawks are going full rebuild. Then they bring in Sam Darnold. And I was very pessimistic about the move at the time. I said, we have too much data on Sam Darnold. I said, we have more evidence that he's going to be the player that he was in New York and Carolina and then in Minnesota. But so far we're about a quarter into the season, and I have been proved wrong. First of all, Sam Darnold, his yardage stats, they don't pop off the page, but he's 4th overall in yards per attempt. The only starter ahead of him is Lamar Jackson. Andy Dalton's ahead of him. I went to NFL.com, so I don't know if they've factored in like preseason stats too, or what it is. But he only has 2 interceptions. That's been the big thing. I was worried, especially with his playoff collapse in Minnesota. Let's call it what it is.
Yep.
Good, because if that didn't happen, he would still be in Minnesota. But Sam Darnold, part of it is the Seahawks have finally put an offensive line around him to protect him. They are also Clint Kubiak's offense, predicated on the run, is helping Sam Darnold with the play action pass, but he's been very accurate. He's only thrown 2 interceptions, one of which could have gone either way off memory. It was a batted ball, if I remember, a tipped ball, something like that. One of them was completely boneheaded. He just, it was just a bad throw in the Steelers game. But when you compare that to what Geno Smith has done in Las Vegas, and this is no shot to Geno Smith. I liked Geno during his time in Seattle. He proved me wrong in his time during Seattle. But here's the thing. Geno's biggest problem in Seattle was interceptions, specifically in the red zone. Geno Smith, to put it kindly, has more interceptions than Sam Darnold. He has thrown more in 2 games than Sam Darnold has thrown for the entire season. Sam Darnold thrown 5 touchdowns. Again, he hasn't really lit it up on the touchdown side of things, but he is played better than I think anyone expected, and he is a reason the Seahawks are where they are right now. I have to eat some crow. It's why John Schneider is the GM of this team and not me. Okay, now I'm going to go into my disappointment, and I'm sorry I have to do it.
Should I break it out?
You can break it out, yes.
All right, here we go.
Disappointed!
There it is.
Thank you, Kevin Sorbo, a.k.a. Hercules. It's the Baltimore Ravens. It's the Baltimore Ravens overall, but specifically it's Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Neither of these people. Now, week 1, let's go back to week 1. The Baltimore was up big. They looked like they were going to smash the Bills. And then Derrick Henry fumbled and momentum started to turn. And the Bills came all the way back. And here's the thing. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson is this their 3rd year together or 2nd? I
believe it's their 2nd.
I think it's a 2nd year. Yes, it's the 2nd year. I thought that they would be better together, having played together that first full year. They'd get the kinks out. They'd figure things out. And that has not happened. And Baltimore, I thought this team would be 4-0 right now, at minimum 3-1, and they are 1-3. Something is wrong in Baltimore. Lamar at times has looked like Lamar, but Baltimore's defense has let them down. Their defense is not playing well. Their receivers, I thought that Zay Flowers would emerge more as the number 1 target, and I thought DeAndre Hopkins would be a nice addition to the team. So far, it hasn't really panned out. I haven't watched as much Ravens football as I would like, so maybe I'm missing some things, but something just seems off in Baltimore. I thought this team would start a lot better than they have, and they got to turn things around quickly if they have any shot at doing what I predicted that they would do in the postseason. This has gone sideways. This has gone off the rails a little bit, and if you heard me on Tuesday's show, I started to question whether John Harbaugh, whether his time in Baltimore should come to an end, because it's becoming a little bit of a pattern. This team seems to underachieve when it matters. And they're my biggest shock to start 2025. And with that, I pass it to you, Ryan.
Yeah, and I actually clipped that portion of Tuesday's show. You check out that clip on either the Belly Up YouTube channel for the full episode of our last episode, or you can find the clip on our YouTube channel, which is, again, no credentials required. It's a short watch, and again, leave comments in the comments section. Let us know what you think about whether or not John Harbaugh should be on the hot seat. It's a very good question that Dustin presented, and it's food for thought. Indeed, it is food for thought. All right, over to me. Surprises and disappointments for me a quarter-ish way through the 2025 season. Both stem from the AFC South, which I thought was going to be an awful division this year because Tennessee is who Tennessee is. We knew they were going to be absolute, in the words of our friend of the show, Drew Willingham, they're going to be dumpster Pelicans this year. And they have proven as such because their offensive line is thin, their defense is okay, but middling. And they were shut out last week against Houston. But granted, took Houston 3 quarters to get it took them 3 quarters. It was 6-0 at the end of the third quarter of that game. And the Texans all of a sudden figured it out and they scored 20 points in that quarter. It was not fun to watch if you were watching. And yes, that was your self-hatred game of the week, and rightly so from week 4. But let's go over to our surprises this year. And the 2 biggest surprises in that division are the teams sitting tied for first place in that division at 3-1. Those are the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. Let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I talked about this in the last episode. I posed the question, are the Jacksonville Jaguars good? So far, a quarter of the way into the season, the answer is definitively yes. And there's 2 reasons why. That defense is legit. The defense is the biggest reason why they're currently sitting at 3-1. They're certainly not Saxonville from a few years ago when Tom Coughlin took over the team and revitalized that defense, and they were getting after the quarterback. That was in the 2017 season, I want to say. That Saxonville name became present. They're certainly not that. They're currently 22nd in the league. They have only 6 sacks this season as a team. But their turnover ratio is incredible. They have forced 13 turnovers this year as opposed to turning the ball over 4 times. The +9 ratio. And that +9 ratio is because they lead the league with 9 interceptions as a team overall. 9.
Wow.
It's an incredible turnaround so far with this guy at the helm. Duval. Ironically, as we say that ironically. But another reason why this Jacksonville Jaguars team is doing better than expected is because their running game. Liam Cohen has brought vitality to an otherwise impotent running game for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And Travis Etienne is a big reason why. Travis Etienne has 393 yards this season. He had over 100 yards rushing last week against San Francisco, which is usually stout against the run. But those big boys up front, the Hogs up front, they're paving the way for Travis Etienne. He's 3rd in the league with 393 yards rushing as of this recording. Now we go to the other team that's surprised in this division, the Indianapolis Colts. Started 3-0, lost a close game in Los Angeles against the Rams this past weekend. I don't know why Adonai Mitchell is still with the team. Huge mistake he made in that game, prematurely celebrating. They should be 4-0 right now. They should be 4-0 because it was that mistake and that long touchdown pass from Matthew Stafford to Juju Atwell. The 2 biggest reasons why the Colts are sitting at 3-1. Regardless, they're sitting at 3-1. And I don't think anybody outside of Indianapolis expected the Colts to be 3-1 at this point. And the biggest reason why is because of the revival season that Daniel Jones is having. He's having a very similar season to what he had in 2022 with the New York Giants. Because remember in that year, he had Saquon Barkley in the backfield. And he had plenty of weapons to throw to in that offense that he had with Brian Dable. You thought they're going to be there for the long term. things didn't quite work out, and he was kind of a journeyman last year.
Yeah.
Spending time on the Minnesota Vikings practice squad, and then signing a 1-year deal with the Indianapolis Colts just because he needed a place to go. And he thought he would serve as a backup for Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is who he is, often injured, underdeveloped, and Daniel Jones has taken the starting job and has done a productive job so far as a starting quarterback. And the biggest reason why he has had the season that he's had, because Tyler Warren is right now, he's probably the leader. He's probably the leader in the clubhouse for offensive rookie of the year. Although I think Armand Membu should also be considered. Homer alert. Sorry. Armand Membu from the New York Jets, ladies and gentlemen. But Jonathan Taylor. Taylor's back. He is back, ladies. I mean, I'll say he's back, but because I think he was one of the leaders in rushing in the NFL last year. But Jonathan Taylor, workhorse running back for that Colts team. He currently leads the league in rushing. He's got 414 yards. Had another solid game last week. Has had a couple of 100-yard games this year, including that 150-plus yard game against Denver in week 2, excuse me. But Daniel Jones, when he's helped by an elite running back, and Jonathan Taylor is an elite running back.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is a better quarterback because of that. We saw it in 2022, and we saw the difference that was made when Saquon Barkley left the Giants and went to the Eagles, but John Mara is still having sleepless nights about that one.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones, better quarterback when he has an elite running back in his backfield with him. And that defense is also doing a solid job. They've caused 6 turnovers. They have a +3 ratio. And don't forget, this Colts team didn't punt. Did not punt until I think the fourth quarter against Tennessee in week 3. And so they've done an impressive job. Shane Steichen, I think he probably likes to go for it inside when on 4th and short when it's inside the opponent's 50. But he's a gambler. But all in all, this Colts team, very impressive this year. I'm very surprised that they are currently, again, I think Jacksonville leads the division because they have that. Actually, no, they've both beaten AFC South opponents. Never mind. My apologies. I think they're tied for first in that division. My biggest disappointment so far, Kevin Sorbo, take it away.
Disappointed!
Now it's with the goatee.
Because he was supposed to be like evil Hercules. I think. Yeah, I can't.
Taking after Star Trek.
When I was a kid.
Taking after Star Trek and Community with the goatee.
Yeah.
The darkest timeline. The biggest disappointment for me so far is the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, I mentioned a couple episodes ago, we are watching the regression of quarterback CJ Stroud in real time. The Texans, because he has no help. He has no help on his offensive line. He doesn't have Tank Dell or Diggs to throw to this season. His best target right now is Dalton Schultz, and not having Joe Mixon in the backfield doesn't take a whole lot of load off of him. Granted, he's got Nick Chubb, but Nick Chubb hasn't gotten it going either.
Yeah, Nick Chubb has looked disappointing this year. Although Woody Marks looked good last week, we'll have to see if he continues to.
True, it's true. Houston Texans are 24th in the league in total offense, and again, while they got their first win of the week, win of the year in week 4 against Tennessee, again, it took their offense 3 quarters. It was 6-0 at the end of the third quarter. Then they scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. It took them 3 quarters to get things going, which tells you how sluggish their offense is. The production is just not what it is. And while their defense has remained solid, look, they're 5th in the league in total defense. That Texans defense, D'Amico Ryans, he has that defense going. But it's going to be a shame that if the offense doesn't get going, if their production doesn't pick up, if the Texans can't get their offense going, they can't get the run game going, They can't find another target for CJ Stroud to throw to or acquire someone at the deadline or towards the deadline to get him some help to get a receiving help. This defense is going to have to carry the load.
Yeah.
And when defenses carry the load in this league, unless you're elite, it doesn't bode well for you. And I had Houston by default winning this division going away because I thought the rest of the division was just going to be awful between the Colts having Daniel Jones at quarterback, first-year head coach, and Liam Cohen in Jacksonville, and Tennessee being who they are. I thought Houston was going to run away with this division just by default. But so far, it's not the case because CJ Stroud's regression is showing, and because he has a whole lot of help in front of him or around him. And it's tough to win in this league if you don't have help in front of you or around you. Just ask Sam Darnold from 2018 to 2020 as a New York Jet.
Yeah.
High expectations, low results because he didn't have enough help. And now he's excelling in other places because this is the quarterback, as you mentioned, Dustin, with Sam Darnold having a season he's had. That's the quarterback we wanted to see as a New York Jets, as New York Jets fans.
Yeah, and as a Seahawk fan, I can see why they drafted him where they did. Some of the throws that he can make, you're going, oh, that's why they did that. You know,
Just took him a few seasons, 7 seasons to get get to the right place and have the right talent around him, and guys can block in front of him. So, but yeah, leave us in the comments section. Whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on social media, whether you're on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, who are your biggest surprises and disappointments this far into the NFL season? All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the rest of the week. We're going to talk about week 5 in the NFL, what's standing out to us, what games we're avoiding like the plague, and who to look at in terms of individual player performances. Plus, we reveal our picks for our Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge and our favorite athletes to wear number 71. So stay tuned and stand by for more No Credentials Required.
This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air-roasted, 100% money-back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off your order.
That is right, folks. Invader Coffee, one of our longest affiliated sponsors here at No Credentials Required. Outstanding coffee. And it's not just the regular blends that they have, like the OG blend, the Invader, the Outlander blend, which is a special blend, dark blend. They've got the Mexican chocolate, the Don't Cali My Texas, the Break in Case of Emergency, which is sold out currently. But they've also got they've also got seasonal flavors, and they've also got special flavors. So the seasonal flavor that came out recently, the pumpkin pecan, I know Dustin digs on that a lot.
Oh yeah.
At their whiskey blend, their barbecue, their bacon bourbon blend, the tiramisu is out right now. It's another special blend that they have. Their Lucky Bee Irish blend, which is a little bit of Irish cream. But here's their newest special blend called the Wallace Scottish Brandy Blend. And here's the description from Invader Coffee. Experience our newest creation, a smooth, full-bodied roast with syrupy notes of sweet maple and creamy butterscotch candy. This indulgent limited edition blend is perfect for slow mornings, an afternoon pick-me-up, or as a dessert coffee to end the evening on a rich note. And yes, it's a limited release, it's a new release. I've pre-ordered it. Dustin has pre-ordered it. Shipping begins actually right around now. So it's October 1st. So, but again, they got their seasonal blends, they got their regular blends. They got cold brew coffee. You can buy in individual cans. You can also buy it in a 12-pack. Nice little pick-me-up for the afternoon when things start to slow down a little bit. You can also do a favor and you can actually buy a bag of coffee for a deployed military member. They do that in partnership with the Move America Forward program. I've done it. It's an awesome thing to do because the last thing you want on the battlefield is a crappy cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. No one deserves that while they're trying to fight for our country. So,
Nope. You don't want a crappy cup of coffee lowering your morale as you fight terrorism, fight our enemies around the world. So what you want to do is go to our link in the description. That's our affiliate link. Use that affiliate link. We get a little bit back for every sale that's made, but you can also use promo code BELLYUP at checkout, BELLYUP. You get 15% off your order. So you can save a little bit of that shipping, and orders that come through by 2 p.m. by 2 p.m. they're processed the same day, and you get your bag of coffee in 4 business days, which is super awesome because it comes to your door. It's either ground. You get whole bean, which are freshly roasted beans. You get the whole bean because I like to grind up my beans myself, or you can get a ground. You can get ground for if you want to make a bigger pot of coffee. You have that ground option. It's already pre-ground, but it's still an awesome cup of coffee. Again, it's 100% money back guarantee, but I guarantee you, as proprietors, as people who have, as someone who ordered the coffee before jumping on board as an affiliate sponsor, you'll love this coffee too. There's none of that bitterness you get from the stuff on the shelves, none of that acidity, which is harsh. It makes you add more stuff like sugar and milk. And for some of us who are trying to watch their weight, trying to lower the calories, you don't want that. You can just drink this black, and it's smooth, and it's bold, but it's also smooth. So again, use our affiliate link in the description on the podcast side and on the Belly Up YouTube channel. And also use promo code BELLYUP at checkout. You get 15% off your order. So you're helping us, you're helping our network. And thank you, Invader Coffee, for being an affiliate sponsor of this program for so long. And of course, as always, Invader Coffee. You get the no credentials required seal of approval. There's Puppers.
yeah, always great when he makes an appearance. And the seal of approval made an appearance in an unlikely spot on the watch along of the New York Jets Monday Night Football game.
It did. I made the sound effects and everything.
I did not miss that one. I did not miss it.
All right, let's move on to week 5 of the NFL. We're previewing it. Again, by the time this episode drops, the Thursday night game will be over. But there's more matchups to get to on Sunday. It starts early. Got another international game this week between the Vikings and the Browns. Then we have the rest of the day, 1 o'clock, the 4 o'clock games, Sunday night, Monday night. There's only one Monday night game this week, so be happy for that. But let's talk about the most intriguing matchups according to us. And I'm going to start off here. And I'm going to go with I went with you might think it's a little bit surprising. I went with Giants versus Saints.
Ooh.
Yeah, spice it up a little bit because Jackson Dart is going to be starting again for the New York Giants. He's currently listed as questionable because he took a lot of punishment in that game against the Chargers. Chargers got after him. They sacked him 5 times. They hit him a lot in the backfield, but still got up, still won the game for the Giants. And he should be good to go against a Saints team that for 3 quarters last week against Buffalo, they took it to the Bills.
Yeah.
Awfully surprising. So, but it's going to be a hostile environment for Jackson Dart, although it's kind of a homecoming because he played in the SEC down in Mississippi. It might be a little bit of a homecoming for him. But I'm curious to see what the Giants' game plan is going to be, especially if Jackson Dart's a little bit banged up. I want to see if the Giants are going to feed Cam Scatterbo a lot. They did it in the last game against the Chargers. I'm curious to see if they'll do that against the Saints this week, especially against the defense that's giving up 30 points per game in the Saints. And the Giants are also giving up 30 points per game too, but I'm just curious to see what they'll do to game plan around the Saints, who don't have a whole lot of players that are notable outside of Cam.
They have Alvin Kamara
Oh,
on
no.
offense. They have Chris Olave, and then they have is it not Cam Ward?
No,
who am
Cam
I?
Jordan.
Yeah, Cameron Jordan. Yeah,
Cam Jordan. Okay, I had to think about it for a second. Cam Jordan. Yeah, so he's the only really notable, and Demario Davis, but former New York Jet Demario Davis. Those are the only two guys I could think of on that defense that are really notable for the Saints. But for the Saints, they're facing their offense is facing a defense that forced 2 interceptions last week out of Justin Herbert, and but however they managed to score again. They managed to put 19 points up against the Bills, although they almost took the lead. Looked like it almost took the lead at one point, but that touchdown was overturned because it was bobbled. But this is the Saints team. This is the Saints team they're not great, but they showed a lot more fight in this game than they did in week 2 against your Seattle Seahawks. So I got my eye on that because it's 2 former SEC quarterbacks going at it between Jackson Dart and Spencer Rattler, who played at the university, first played at the University of Oklahoma when they were in the Big 12, and then transferred over to the University of South Carolina a couple years afterward, playing for Frank Beamer's son. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now, but I think it's Frank Beamer Jr. Correct me in the comments, but that's gonna be my most intriguing matchup. Dustin, what about you?
That's a good pick, Ryan. I looked at it too. I looked at it and I thought about it, and especially, I got to give it credit. First year head coach Kellen Moore. He's got that Saints team playing hard because they played the Cardinals tough in week 1 too. They lost, but they played them tough. And then the Seahawks are really the only game where they got their doors blown off. Other than that, I think they played the Panthers. They played okay against them, and now they're facing the Giants. So we'll see what happens. But my most intriguing matchup for this week is it's the Commanders versus the Chargers. Will Jaden Daniels play? I think that he will. I think it was announced that he's on track to play. But that makes a difference. And you pointed it out. The Commanders have kind of been disappointing to start the season, and they lost against Atlanta last week horribly. And the Chargers lost against the aforementioned Giants, which all credit to the Giants. But this is a team that most people thought the Chargers should have beaten. So I wanted to see how both of these teams respond to disappointing losses. As always, I've got my eyes on running backs, the running backs, y'all. Will Omarion
Thanks, Petey.
Yeah. Will he be able to replicate last week's performance? Will Ladd McConkey be a contributing factor? I think a lot of Chargers fans are surprised with how Ladd has kind of not been a factor in the offense. Will Terry McLaurin be back for the Commanders as well? Because obviously he makes a difference. There's a lot to how will the two defenses perform against each other. Harbaugh's got the Chargers defense playing well. Dan Quinn, he's a defensive guy. The Commanders defense improved greatly under him. Will they continue to improve? I think they've regressed a little bit this year. So it'll be interesting to see. There's a lot to look forward to about this game.
Yeah. It's actually in week 2, the Saints played the 49ers.
49ers, that's who
it was.
They
lost by 5. They played tough against the 49ers. That was a banged up, again, it was a banged up 49ers team.
Yes.
Who had to play Mac Jones at quarterback, and Mac Jones is playing on Thursday because Brock Purdy's out again. So but yeah, that's a good pick too. I actually had them in my mind first, but you took it right under me. I was like, you know what? Let's go with Giants Saints. That looks like a good game. So, all right, moving on to our self-hatred game of the week. Dustin, which game are you avoiding this week?
Oh man, it's Dolphins Panthers. I mean, you hate. I thought, well, I know you thought, Ryan, and I also thought, and I know Dan on Seahawks sessions, he thought it well. We thought the Panthers, after the way Bryce Young played last year, we thought, okay, they're putting something together here. But and the Dolphins, we've chided them for underperforming, and now we know that Tyreek Hill is out. Tyreek Hill, say what you want about him, but he was their main offensive threat. There's no doubt about that. They have other weapons, but it is unquestionable a detriment that he is out now for the season. Will Bryce
and
Young
maybe next season and the season after that?
his playing
to say that it was a catastrophic injury is underselling it.
Yeah,
It kind of reminded me of what happened to Tank Dell last year.
Yeah, they are unsure about his future in any regard.
Yeah.
And the thing is, some off the field stuff with Tyreek Hill, you don't want to see stuff like that, but no matter what you think of Tyreek Hill as a person, no one deserves an injury like that.
No.
That was awful. And
Gross.
I'm glad that they didn't replay it. But yeah, it is unquestionably a huge loss for the Dolphins. And also, I want to see which version of Bryce Young will show up because he just hasn't looked right to start the season. And the Panthers defense at times has looked pretty good, but then they've looked terrible. These are two teams that I can't figure out who they are. And I think this game, I just feel like it's going to be a big slop fest. I think, and Tua has a propensity to make mistakes he shouldn't against teams he shouldn't. And this does not make for a recipe that I want to cook up and watch.
Yeah. For me, Dustin picked on them last week, so I'm going to continue the trend. Titans at Cardinals. Ugh.
Oh man.
This game is just going to be an ugly affair. Both teams, their offensive lines are thin. Titans, they've allowed 17 sacks this season, which is actually second to a team I will mention in the next segment. They've allowed 17 sacks this season. The Cardinals have allowed 13. Seahawks got to them 6 times last week on Thursday night. Neither defense is impressive. The Cardinals are 28th in passing yards allowed. The Titans are 28th in rushing yards allowed. And it's too bad the Cardinals don't have a real rushing attack anymore, and the Titans can't keep Cam Ward upright. Otherwise, this will be a fun contrast in styles. But to me, this is going to be a dreadful game to watch, and I don't think the diehard fans care much about the outcome of this game. Yes, even in week 5 of the NFL, this game will make you want to say, thank God for NFL Red Zone.
Oh man, yeah.
You know what game I almost picked as my game to avoid?
What one is that?
Houston and Carolina, or Baltimore. Houston and Baltimore. Excuse me.
Yeah, that could be tough too. Yeah,
they're both 1-3 going into this game. It's going to be at Baltimore. So Baltimore's banged up. Houston is there are identities on defense. So, so it's going to be curious to see which. And Lamar Jackson's doubtful for this week, from what I understand. He pulled a hamstring injury, which forced me to make a move in fantasy football. So, I picked up Jackson Dart this week.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's not a bad pickup.
Well, I had 2 players I had to put on IR. I had to put Malik Neighbors, and I'm trying to think who else I had to put on IR. And I had to let go of Austin Eckler, who is also on IR. So I had to make room. I had to make room in my roster. So that's what I got for this week. Player or players to watch. I've got a pair to watch, and they're both for the same team, the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh.
Yeah. Cleveland Browns on offense. Dylan Gabriel gets the start for the Browns on Sunday in London against the Minnesota Vikings. And for every Shedeur Sanders fan out there, they're in the salt mines right now crying because their boy their boy's not getting the start. Dylan Gabriel is.
Well, he was silent about it. Did you see his mime performance? Yeah.
For those of you on listening audience, I just pantomimed what Shedeur Sanders did to the Cleveland Browns beat. And I will say this: if Shedeur Sanders did that in the New York Giants or New York Jets locker room to the beat beat reporters for those teams, he would be getting eaten alive.
Oh, for sure.
By the media.
For sure.
Absolutely. Unacceptable. But Dylan Gabriel gets the start, and I'm just curious to see if he's going to get going against this Vikings defensive scheme that has played okay.
Mm-hmm.
They played good, but not great. They've had some injuries on that side of the ball, and I have to wonder if if he's going to be the catalyst for the 26th ranked offense in the NFL, because the Browns on offense they're not spectacular. Their defense, again, just like the Houston Texans, the defense is carrying the Cleveland Browns. To which it brings me this.
Can't have him locked up. He's important to the defense.
Myles Garrett, the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings have allowed the most sacks in the NFL this year. They've allowed 18 sacks, one more than the Tennessee Titans. And Myles Garrett is currently in a 4-way tie for third in individual sacks. He's got 4 individual sacks this year. And the Browns they're actually the top ranked defense in yards allowed in the NFL this year. Very surprising. But again, yeah. It's surprising, but it's also not surprising because the Browns defense is very good. They are carrying this team. So, which makes me wonder, is Myles Garrett, is he going to eat against this weak pass protection in London at Wembley Stadium? I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. That's the 9:30 game on Sunday morning. So those are my players to watch, Dustin. How about you? Who are your players to watch this week?
So I've got an offensive player, surprising no one, but I also have a defensive player.
Should I play it? Should I play it?
Yeah, you can play it.
Yeah.
Can't have him locked up. He's important to the defense.
Shout out to our tribal chief, Wise El Jefe.
Shout out. Always love to hear that. But so my offensive player, I'm kind of taking that off the board, but it bears mentioning. It's Jaden Daniels. Yep. I want to see how he looks when he plays. I want to see if he's his mobile self. I want to see if he can make all the cuts and the plays and if he's getting full strength into his throws if he plays. But like I said, it's come out. It looks like he's going to play. When I wrote this, I think it was less certain. But the main player I'll be keeping an eye on, it's another homer alert, but it's Tariq, a.k.a. Reek Woolen against the Bucks. First of all,
homer alert.
Yeah. It's going to be a big game for the Seahawks against the Bucks. I almost picked it, but I don't feel confident about that game. I'm scared. I'm scared of Todd Bowles and that defense. I'm scared of Baker. We'll see what happens. But Reek Woolen, he has been brought up as a potential trade to be on the trading block for the Seahawks because they have Witherspoon on the outside at corner. Reek Woolen has made a couple plays that are less than desirable this season, and Josh Jobe has been playing out of his mind as well. Darian Kendrick has been playing well out of the nickel spot on defense. So where does that leave a spot for Reek? And when Mike McDonald was asked about it, it said, has Darian Kendrick earned the right to compete for the nickel spot with Spoon remaining on the outside? Mike McDonald said the short answer is yes. And like I said, Josh Jobe has been playing very well, so that doesn't leave much time for Reek Woolen to get on the field. So I'll be watching to see, does he play? If he if he plays, does he make one of the mistakes
If he
that
plays,
he's been making? Oh man. Oh man. We're gonna have that one's gonna be clipped probably. but
don't be Februarying too soon there, Dustin.
yeah. But is he a potential trade target? And if so, who could possibly trade for him? So I've got my eye on Reek Woolen this week.
All right. So I did some real-time research while you were talking, and Jaden Daniels was a full participant in practice on Wednesday. So it looks like he is on the road to being the starter on Sunday in Los Angeles, which I'm pretty sure will be about 45% Commanders fans at SoFi Stadium because the Chargers can't draw in Los Angeles. Spanos family, are you listening? Oh my goodness. All right, we're almost done with our show. We're got 2 segments to go. The first segment we're going to talk about are Cut the Brakes, Pick 'em Challenge. Hit it!
Because I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah! What?
I love that bit.
It's a great one.
Again, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Great show. Again, not for the kids.
Yeah.
Not for the kids. But yes, our Pick'ems Challenge, our Cut the Brakes Pick'em Challenge is brought to you by Royal Retros, the king of throwbacks. Use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout. You get 15% off your order. And we are playing for some tasty merch from Royal Retros. Again, I know Dustin's got his eye in that Florida Blockbusters jersey. But they do have some great gear on that website, royalretros.com, king of throwbacks. All right, let's bring up our picks for week 5 in the NFL. I currently lead 10-9, but here are our picks for this week. For Dustin, he's riding with the Buffalo Bills one more time. He's riding with the Arizona Cardinals against the Tennessee Titans. And his upset pick, he's going with the Cleveland Browns to beat Minnesota in London. As for me, I'm picking the LA Rams for the Thursday night game. I'm picking the Indianapolis Colts as they face the Las Vegas Raiders in Indianapolis. It's a Sunday game. Am I upset? I'm riding again with the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday night as they face the Kansas City Chiefs at home. I think it's called Everbank Stadium now. Can't remember what.
Yeah, I think so.
Used to be TIAA Cref Stadium.
You can't keep track of these stadiums anymore.
Yes, man. Everbank Stadium. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. So those are our picks for this week's Cut the Brakes Pick'em Challenge. Again, presented by Royal Retros. 15% off your order with promo code CREDHEAD at checkout, plus free shipping for every order over $100.
Because I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah! What?
All right. That brings us to our final segment of the show. This is episode 71 in the can for 2025. And we're going to reveal our favorite athletes who have worn the number 71. So I'm going to have you lead off, Dustin. Who is your favorite athlete to wear number 71? And do I need a special button?
You need this button for sure.
Right. Here we go. Homer alert! For hopefully the final time today.
Yeah, sorry. I feel like I've been wearing out the button.
Mashing that button tonight.
But man, I'm like a horse ready to go. Ryan, you know me well. You knew who this was going to be from episode 1. This is one of the picks that was telegraphed, and I'm about to sit and I'm about to talk about possibly the greatest Seahawk. I know Steve Largent is really the greatest Seahawk, but I would almost put this man at number 1. And because I saw this guy play, I didn't see Steve Largent play. I didn't get to see that. I only got to see him in the highlights. And I'm telling you, this guy is 1A to Steve Largent's 1. He is a Hall of Famer. Of course, I am talking about none other than 71 Walter Jones. Okay, Walter Jones was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks in 1997. He played for Bobby Bowden's Florida Seminoles. Okay, it was a different time. It was like 95 he was playing there. It seems like a lifetime ago because it kind of was. But Walter Jones, not only is he a Hall of Famer, he is a 9-time Pro Bowler. He is a 4-time All-Pro. He is on the Hall of Fame All-2000s team, as he should be. He protected quarterbacks' blind sides, and he is in the movie The Blind Side at the beginning. The tackle that they show is Mr. Walter Jones. And he is protecting Matt Hasselbeck in that clip. Now, Walter Jones, Mike Holmgren, who came to coach the Seahawks in 99, said that if he could build a team around anyone in the NFL, his pick would be Walter Jones. He also said that Walter Jones was the greatest offensive player he's ever coached. Keep in mind the quarterbacks that Mike Holmgren had a hand in coaching: Joe Montana, Steve Young, Brett Favre. For Mike Holmgren to say that Walter Jones is the greatest offensive player he's ever coached, that shows you the greatness of Walter Jones. And forgive me if I am going off, but a lot of people, Walter Jones played when the Seahawks were not, towards the end of Walter's career, the Seahawks started to ascend into a team that people knew a little bit more about because of Sean Alexander and because of that great offensive line, which Walter was a part of, by the way. And they started to become a little better. But early in Walter's career, the Seahawks were not a good team, okay? And people did not realize how good Walter was. Now, let me give you a couple of stats about Walter Jones. First of all, he started every single game of his 180-game, 12-year career in the National Football League. This guy played through injury. It's not quite the Iron Man streak of Cal Ripken or Favre, but it's an Iron Man streak in its own way. Walter was out there for every game. The other thing, I used to get mad because Walter Jones would routinely hold out and he would routinely take training camp off. But guess what he used to do to train? He'd go back to Alabama and he'd push Escalades around. And guess what? It worked because it propelled him into the Hall of Fame. Ryan, Walter Jones played for 12 years. Do you want to guess how many sacks he gave up in 180 games?
Is it in double digits?
Double digits it is.
Okay. Is it in the 30s?
It is less.
27?
Very close. 23 sacks.
Wow.
23 sacks is all that he gave up. And I will give you this hint. Guess how many times he was called for holding in his career? It's less than 20.
Is it less than 15?
Yes.
Is it less than 10?
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm going to say 8.
9. You're very close. Walter Jones, okay?
Wow.
People need to go look at Walter Jones tapes. He is possibly my favorite Seahawk of all time. I think I'm going to go buy a Walter Jones jersey after the show. And with that, Ryan,
use our affiliate link on Fanatics.
I will.
Now, are you going to get the classic 2000s jersey, the classic 70s through 90s jersey, or are you going to get the rivalries uniforms that looks like an arena football team?
I don't know. There's some good options there. There's some good options because I could also, if I could get it in current colors, I might do that. But I do. A lot of people did not like the Seahawks uniforms from like 2002 to like 2009-ish. I liked those uniforms. I did not mind them.
I think you should go with the OG, like original uniforms.
Okay,
so what they wore in the Kingdom.
Yep. So what he was wearing when he was drafted in '97. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I should go with that. Those are classic. Those are classic. All right, for my number 71, I really couldn't think of anyone who played for any of my teams, although Jonas Siegenthaler from the New Jersey Devils currently wears number 71, but he's not my favorite player from that current team. For my current team, Nico Hischier is number 13. Number 13 in your hearts, number 1. Number 13 on the program, number 1 in your hearts. Although my niece, who's a big Devils fan, and shout out to the Devils to signing Luke Hughes to that huge extension. He and his brother Jack, she's a big Hughes. She's a Hughes fan, like between Jack, Quinn, and Luke. But although Jack holds the number 1 spot in her heart for the New Jersey Devils, who is number 86. So spoiler alert, number 86 might have that for episode 86. But my number 71, although he does not play for my team, he actually plays for a rival in the same division as the team I root for, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Evgeny Malkin. And I'm just catching up on his story and all the hoops that he had to jump through just to get to the NHL. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 2004 draft.
Man,
He was taken right after Alexander Ovechkin. Could you imagine for a moment if there's an alternative universe? Washington Capitals draft Malkin. Pittsburgh Penguins draft Ovechkin.
Forget it. I mean, forget it. It'd be ridiculous because it went very well for both of them. But
It did
in my mind,
because in 2005, Sidney Crosby was drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins, number 1 overall.
Yeah. And I mean, in my mind, if the Pens draft Ovechkin and then Crosby joins the next year, Crosby immediately becomes the assist man.
Oh, for sure.
And Ovechkin score, it would be ridiculous. Oh, my goodness, my head just exploded, Brian.
But let's talk about. But we're not talking about Ovechkin. We're talking about Crosby. We're talking about Geno Malkin as the fans in Pittsburgh, the Yinzers call him Evgeny Malkin. He's known as Geno. I'm just reading up on his story now. His career stats, as of this year. 514 goals, 832 assists in 1,213 games. He has 1,346 points. 3-time Stanley Cup winner. Won the Calder Trophy in 2007. Was an All-Star in 2000. Was on the All-Rookie team in 2007. 3-time All-Star. 2-time Art Ross Trophy winner. 2009 Conn Smythe Trophy winner. 2012 Hart Trophy winner. 2012 Ted Lindsay Award winner, which is the MVP as voted by the athletes or the hockey or the players in the NHL. But it was Malkin almost didn't get the chance to play in the NHL. This is an incredible story. So I'm looking at his story on Wikipedia, and he originally played he's from Russia, so he played for Metallurg Magnitogorsk. Played for their junior program and then played for the senior program. Almost didn't come to the NHL. Was drafted by the Penguins in 2004. The lockout delayed his debut in the NHL because the lockout canceled the 2004-2005 season. And it looked like he was going to be able to transfer over to the United States because apparently he had signed a deal where that would have kept him in Russia through 2007, but it was not, according to Wikipedia, it was not a compromise, but because of the intense psychological pressure his club exerted on him, he left training camp on August 12th, 2005, excuse me. And they had his passport taken away by the team to prevent him from leaving, but he was given back to him. He cleared Finnish customs. He met with his agent, JP Barry, and they left as soon as possible to go to the U.S. Embassy to get his clearance. And they allowed him to cancel. He sent a fax to to cancel his contract. And then he signed an entry-level contract with the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2006, excuse me, not 2005, 2006.
Oh.
He almost didn't come to the United States to start with the Penguins and until for a while, but then came to the league, first year in the NHL, finished with 85 points, won the Calder Trophy, was on the All Rookie team, and he was part of that dynasty for the Pittsburgh Penguins, where they went to the Stanley Cup Final in 2008, got beat by Detroit in 6 games, went back to the Stanley Cup Final in 2009, won the Stanley Cup against Detroit, the same Detroit team, in 7 games, was actually the league leader in points that year with 113. Had also led the league in with assists and with 78 assists. Led the league in scoring in 2012 with 109 points. Won the Hart Trophy, won the Art Ross Trophy, and he won 2 more cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins, I believe in 2017 and 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look real quick.
The thing that sticks out to me, Ryan, while you're doing that, he was also nothing against Sidney Crosby, but no. Sid missed a lot of time with concussions, injuries. Malkin was always there. He was always there. He was a constant for those Penguins teams.
Yes, 16 and 17. Yeah, but yeah, while Sidney Crosby was dealing with his head issues, which were actually neck issues, Malkin carried this team.
Yeah,
Malkin absolutely carried this team, and again, he won the Hart Trophy in 2012 when Crosby was having all those issues. But Crosby thankfully came back to the Penguins. They started getting back into gear in the Cup run in and they won the Stanley Cup in. They repeated 2016 and 2017, and in those seasons, Malkin only played 27 games in 2016, but he was named to the All-Star team. But he played only 57 games. So my bad. He played 57 games during that season. And then 2017 played only 62 games, but was still a contributor on that team, on both those teams that won the Stanley Cup against Nashville and San Jose, respectively. So again, even though I'm a Devils fan, I hold many players in high regard, especially team players who play against my team in the same division. And Evgeny Malkin's one of them. So he's my favorite athlete toward number 71.
Man, spirited 71s from both of us on this episode here.
Right? All right, before we get out of here, Dustin, why don't you go ahead and talk to the folks at home, either listening on the podcast side or watching on YouTube, about the Extra Life fundraiser.
All right. Well, thank you, as usual, for giving me the floor at the end of the show here. But as Ryan said, I will be raising money for the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital as part of the Children's Miracle Network of hospitals through the charity called Extra Life. Extra Life is a event that I do every year for the past 8 years now. This is my 8th year doing it. When I saw my mother pass away from cancer, I said nobody should have to go through that, least of all children. So let's try to help out some sick kids. And I decided to get involved. If you would like to get involved, I will be streaming games for hopefully 24 straight hours on November 8th. I will be starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time. That's usually the time I start. You can tune in at twitch.tv/ElDusto67. I will have a donate button. You can click there and it will direct you to a link to donate. The link, though, is www.extra-life.org. Search for Dustin Henry. You will find me. If you are friends with me on Facebook, I have a fundraiser set up there. I will be putting things on Instagram as we get closer. Again, it's November 8th. I'm raising money for the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Med. I would appreciate the support. I'm going to try to go for 24 straight hours. We've got a variety of games planned. We're going to be playing Fall Guys. That's become a staple of this event every year, and I always appreciate the support. Ryan's been very supportive. My friend Chris is going to join me for a lot of it. It's going to be a good time. Check it out.
I like being the guy that dresses in a hot dog costume.
Yeah.
When I play Fall Guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get ourselves out of here. Dustin's going to go on vacation, so we'll have a special guest on Tuesday's show. Right now, as of right now, I've got penciled in Jared from the Corner Booth podcast.
Ooh. You
Making
know he's
his
going to have
return.
thoughts on his Eagles.
Oh, of course. It's been a while since we brought him in. We usually have a tradition of having our Super Bowl preview show. He was on the first time and didn't make it last year, so he owes me. He owes me. So I let him know that you're going out of town and I needed a guest, and I put the bat signal. And he has said absolutely he'll be jumping on with me. But in the meantime, we'll be back on live on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Dustin will be back here next Saturday for our Saturday show at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's the 11th. But in the meantime, please remember to go follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also find our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. And on the podcast side, you can subscribe to the podcast on a myriad of podcast platforms. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube channel, and our host, which is Podbean. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you're caught up on show announcements when our show goes live, when our live show goes live, and when we have show clips go up, like we've had the last couple of days. Well, we discussed the biggest individual takeaways from Tuesday's show. I put up the video about my rant about MetLife Stadium's turf and Dustin's clip about John Harbaugh possibly being on the hot seat in Baltimore. So, and again, we'd like to apologize to the city of Baltimore for our picks for the World Series and Super Bowl, respectively. Hopefully, things work out for the Ravens and they get themselves untied from this current situation, but right now it's not looking good.
Ooh, tough.
Well, it is tough. It's tough scene, as the kids like to say. We're going to get out of here. So thank you for joining us on No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. For Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. Live show Saturday on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern with Jared from Corner Booth. Dustin will be back next Saturday, the 11th at 10 a.m. Eastern. So until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. Back on Tuesday, live on Tuesday night. So take care. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football.
Leave that Tide player for 71 in the comments, Dees. I know you got it. Good morning, everybody.
Roll Eagle or something like that. War Tide.
Hi, Tide.
Hi, Tide.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.